Oh, hi. I'm David J. Brown, and it's a pleasure to be here in digital form, at least. I'm a science writer with a long interest in psychedelics, which I began using as a teenager, and I've been trying to learn as much about as I can ever since. My background is in neuroscience. I'm the author of 16 books, a few of which have been translated into Italian, such as my book, Frontiers of Psychedelic Consciousness, which is a collection of interviews that I did with some of the leaders in the psychedelic community. Some of the extraordinary people that I interviewed for this collection include Albert Hoffman, the chemist who discovered LSD and psilocybin, as well as Dennis McKenna, Stanislav Grof, Ralph Metzner, Jeremy Narby, and Rick Strassman. For 5 years, I worked as a science writer for an organization called MAPS, the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies. MAPS supports psychedelic drug research around the world, and I've also reported on psychedelic drugs for Scientific American magazine, as well as many other publications. In my own work and research over the past few years, I've been particularly interested in the relationship between lucid dreaming, psychic phenomena, and the psychedelic experience. I worked with British biologist Rupert Sheldrake for 5 years, researching the unexplained powers of animals, such as the ability for pets to sense when their owners are returning home, and other forms of unexplained phenomena, such as the sense of being stared at. The significant results that we gathered from this research are summarized in the books Dogs That Know When Their Owners Are Coming Home and The Sense of Being Stared At. I've also found that many people report spontaneous lucid dreams after having a psychedelic experience, and there are many interesting similarities between these two states of consciousness that I discuss at length in my book, Dreaming Wide Awake. This is one of the more recent books that I've written. Since around 2008, I have to say that I have just been absolutely, really delighted to see the psychedelic renaissance blossoming all over the planet after so many years of demonization and ridicule and just simply being ignored by the mainstream media. I'm really happy to report that there are now many dozens of studies with MDMA, psilocybin, and LSD going on all over the planet, and I think this is truly wonderful news and gives me great hope for the world. Now, I think that psychedelics are important for numerous reasons. First of all, they're powerful. They're powerful medicines, or at least they can be. Scientific research has demonstrated that MDMA can help to heal the emotional wounds from serious traumas and to treat PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. Psilocybin, the psychoactive component found in magic mushrooms, can assist with end-of-life anxiety, can make the dying process easier. It can also reduce addictive behavior, improve a sense of well-being, and it's been shown to reduce the symptoms of obsessive-compulsive disorder. It could even help people stop smoking tobacco. Ibogaine, a compound found in the African iboga plant, can help people end dangerous addictions, and it's been shown to be especially effective with opiate and heroin addiction. Now, these are all wonderful, really desperately needed medical treatments, and I'm really delighted to see them being systematically studied. But there are even other applications beyond the medical areas where psychedelic drugs hold great promise for, say, improving creativity and enhancing problem-solving abilities. There were early studies that were done by the late psychiatrist Oscar Janiger and by psychologist James Fadiman that showed great promise for LSD and mescaline, enhancing both artistic creativity as well as the ability to find innovative solutions to professional challenges. Also, through their reliable ability to produce mystical experiences, psychedelic drugs could allow us to scientifically study the psychology of spirituality and perhaps even the nature of divinity itself. Studies at Johns Hopkins University by Roland Griffiths have demonstrated that psilocybin can trigger mystical or religious experiences in subjects that are indistinguishable from classic mystical experiences reported throughout the ages. and they've been shown to have numerous health benefits as well. They may also hold the possibility to enhance psychic abilities, such as telepathy or clairvoyance, or even to communicate with intelligent non-human entities inhabiting other dimensions of reality. Studies by Stanley Krippner, David Luke, and others report observations of increased psychic phenomena during psychedelic experience. And perhaps most fascinating of all, studies by Rick Strausman at the University of New Mexico with DMT, or with what's called a dimethyltryptamine, the most powerful psychedelic known, something that's naturally found in the human brain, actually. When people are given this substance, they consistently report contact with aliens and elves and spirits and other types of intelligent non-human beings. Whether this is a reality or an illusion, future research will tell, but this is certainly incredibly fascinating research. Now, however, all of these interesting and much needed applications, I think, are truly pale in comparison to what I think the true purpose of psychedelic plants and drugs are. I don't think it's any coincidence that there is a psychedelic renaissance occurring now while our species is facing the frightening effects of global climate change and the unraveling of our biosphere. I think the single most important effect of psychedelics is that they make us more sensitive to our environment and have the capacity to quickly and dramatically enhance ecological awareness. This seems especially to be true with the plant and fungi-based psychedelics such as ayahuasca, peyote, and magic mushrooms. Many environmental activists say that their experiences with ayahuasca helped to first inspire them into action. And there is scientific evidence that psychedelics actually increase environmental awareness. For example, according to mycologist Paul Stamets, psilocybin mushrooms grow in those areas that have been disturbed by human beings, such as paved roads or construction sites. Can it be just a coincidence that mushrooms that make us more environmentally conscious actually grow in those areas that have been disturbed by human construction? Just think about that for a moment. Now, just 20 years ago, there was only a handful of people, anthropologists and psychedelic enthusiasts, who even knew what ayahuasca was. Now there's an ayahuasca church in just about every major city around the world. With the polar ice caps melting, radiation, petroleum, and plastic invading our oceans, our atmospheres becoming a greenhouse, and the tremendous loss of biodiversity occurring on our planet, it seems that nothing, truly nothing, is more important than finding a way to increase ecological awareness. That's why I urge everyone here to contribute generously to the organizations that are funding, organizing, and supporting research into the applications of psychedelic drugs, such as MAPS, the Beckley Foundation, and the Hefter Research Institute. To find out more about my work, visit my website, www.davidjbrown.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Well, thank you to everyone for coming and for your attention today. Peace and God bless.